Okay, so I know everybody hates these cell phone videos, but I'm going to do my best to keep it still. I'm frustrated. Got real frustrated the other day. I had this case back together. It was good. I put the bolts in, and it wouldn't turn. The crank wouldn't turn. I mean, it would turn without the bolts in, but as soon as I put the bolts in, no turning. So I tore it apart again to look and see what was up, and I had noticed that that surface was rubbed, and you can see that this surface is rubbed too, so the whole face was rubbed somehow. Well, maybe it was just in wrong, so I tried it again. I put it in twice. I put the whole thing together twice. Rubbed a second time. So now I'm thinking, did I put the bearings in right? Did I seat the bearings fully? What did I do? Turns out I think I seated the bearings fine. No issue there. Obviously you can see that there is a gasket on here, so it wasn't like I deleted the gasket or something silly. So I didn't have another crank to compare it to until now. I tore another saw down. So Seth, thank you for these. Yeah, they're both kind of buggered. So anyway, Seth, you know who you are. Yeah. Anyway, so what was the problem? Why was it rubbing? I have never seen this before. 1.327-ish. Now these are both X-Torques. Now it should not matter. The cranks are all the same anyway. But 1.288. So essentially 1290 versus 330 would be roughly, so it's 40 thousandths. This expanded by 40 thousandths. So what does 40 thousandths look like? It's a little less than 40 thousandths right there. This moved. The crank lobes have come apart. That crank shot. At least best I can tell. I'm going to put this case together now and make sure that this actually does go in that case, because it should. I'm kind of using this as a donor saw for the moment. It'll get rebuilt. But I have never, I've built at least a dozen 372s, if not more than that. I've always, you don't measure anything. You just put the bearings in, you slap this together, you're good, and it comes out centered and you're fine. But, wow. Apparently now I got another measurement to do. Again, so let's measure, just to be sure. 1285, roughly, again. 1330. And just to check on the lobes, these lobes, it's pretty, it moved evenly. Roughly. Just to check on the lobes. Darn close, I'd say. Within a thousandth, roughly. So, yeah. I think this moved apart. And, it's just pinned. It's just a pin. It's just a pin. I'm sure that was in there with considerable pressure. I actually tried to put this in the vise and squeeze it together. You'd probably have to heat it up and hit it. I don't know. You'd have to get a really heavy press to press that together. And then would you trust it? Probably not. This was, one of Walt's favorite. The nylon cage bearings ate everything in here, so that was another problem. I don't know if the nylon cage bearing had anything to do with this moving. I just have no idea. But obviously, that's a problem. This crank shot, just so you know, measure, should be around 1290. If it's over, 1.30, I would say, give it the heave. So, that would be my thoughts. Those are just my thoughts for the day. In case anybody's wondering, no, the channel's not dead. I just, unfortunately, have not gotten to the videos that I need to edit, but I figured I'd throw this up and show you guys an interesting issue that I was having. And there's other stuff I'm going through right now, but we'll get to that later. Anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.